I am delighted to welcome Joseph O'Connor to the presenter's hot seat today, I guess. Joseph, you're presenting at the NLP International Conference in May. You're actually presenting the live in-person weekend, which is a real thrill for all of us.
Oh,
So
at last, yes, something to do
exactly,
live.
exactly. So
Real
could you,
people.
yeah, real people, real hugs. So could you start by just telling us a little bit more about yourself and your presentation?
Oh, wow, how long have we got? Uh, about myself. Well, I identify much more as a writer now, rather than a trainer. I'm writing a lot more. I've always written books, and one thing that really got me interested in creativity, just from a personal point of view, was, as you probably know, I've written a number of books, a lot on NLP as well. So it's all been non-fiction, and I've just almost finished my first fiction novel. In fact,
Ooh,
science fiction. It's a
right.
science fiction thriller. It's something I've wanted to write for about 15 years. But
Wow.
oh, I haven't quite got time yet. You know, when things calm down, when professional things calm down, I'll get onto this. And about a year ago, I said, well, time to do this. And it was such a fascinating experience of letting ideas flow, being able to almost get out of the way, and not, oh my God, I've got to create something here.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to create something here. And what is it that wants to be created? And it sounds a bit of a cliche, but to have that experience was quite remarkable.
Yeah.
And I've heard people talk about, I start writing a book and the characters just seem to take life of their own, and they start doing weird and wonderful things, and they do.
Wonderful.
It was quite strange, but anyway, that's my kind of interest at the moment, as it were, and that's what really sparked it for me. So, and I believe, I know that all human beings are naturally creative. There's
Right.
no doubt about it. Our brain can't help it. We look out at this world, whatever it is, and we just create it. That's what our brain does. Um, so from that point of view, that's the bigger picture. And then,
Mm.
of course, from any professional or just work point of view, the ability to come up with new ideas that work, um, well, it's priceless,
Yeah.
especially now, because, you know, it used to be in the good old days, you'd have a good idea, you'd milk it for 20 years, and that would be great. Well, now, you know, you come up with a good idea, a couple of weeks' time, the company down the road's doing the same thing. You've got to
Yes.
come up with a new one.
Yeah.
And you've got to continually reinvent yourself
Yeah.
and reinvent what you're doing. How can you do that? You have to be creative all the time.
Yes.
So that's really what I'm addressing in terms of the big picture here.
Wonderful. I actually forgot to mention the title of your presentation is From Reactivity to Creativity. So it does help to have that context around what you're talking about. And I think your explanation around that is really insightful in terms of having to reinvent ourselves the whole time nowadays. And of course, as NLP professionals, potentially that's something we could be really good at. If only we had the strategies sometimes. So what will delegates take away from your session, Joseph?
What will they take away? Well, I think an understanding of creativity that's useful,
Mm-hmm.
not just intellectual. I mean, I like that title because, you know, from reactivity to creativity, you're only changing one letter, basically.
Yes,
You're
yeah,
just taking a letter from the middle and putting it at the beginning, and it changes, it puts it in the opposite way. So it's not a big deal. It's not like you have to do loads and loads of work on yourself. things can happen, creativity can happen in an instant with very small changes. So understanding that, because at least to my mind, creativity is natural. It's not about trying to be creative. You can't do that. It's not trying to be spontaneous. The more you try, the less you are.
Yes.
So it's actually about stopping the enemies of creativity, as it were. It's like stopping doing things that are inhibiting you.
Yeah.
Creativity is like a shy friend. You know, you invite them, but you've got to have a place that they want to come into. You know,
Yes.
it's got to be
Yes.
open.
Yes.
So it's kind of clearing out that in order to be creative. And of course, some actual creativity strategies, what we're calling creativity strategies, that you can kind of trick yourself into being creative, because we all have set ways of thinking, and that's fine, you know, habits of thinking, and we need them, and we don't want to have to think about everything anew all the time. There's some things that need to be automated, but we do have habits of thinking, and it's difficult to get out of them. We almost have to trick ourselves out of them.
Yes. Yes.
So think about it in terms of magic tricks of you know, tricking yourself into creativity.
Harry Potter's invisibility cloak.
That's right.
Wonderful. And of course, J.K. Rowling is a very successful writer. So I mean, I'm loving the idea of this session already, and it sounds to me like part of it is about getting out of our own way to allow creativity in. So is there anything that delegates can do before your session to give themselves either a deeper experience or a deeper understanding of your session?
No, I don't think so. Just come with an open mind, you know. Just come willing to discover a few things that you didn't know about yourself, but would like to know, if that makes sense.
Perfect. Wonderful. So Joseph, we've I mean, we started this call talking about the NLP conference and the fact it's in person, which is great. But what does the NLP International Conference mean to you?
For me, it means meeting people. It means reconnecting with old friends. That's what it means.
Absolutely.
And in a very stimulating environment. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yes, me too. And just to remind people watching, Joseph is actually presenting in the in-person elements the first weekend of the conference on Sunday the 14th of May, and we have the luxury of listening and interacting with you for 3 hours. So your presentation is from 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon through to 5:30 with a 30-minute break as well, and to have that amount of time in person with you is going to be absolutely amazing. So thank you so much, Joseph, for taking the time to explain a bit more about what your presentation is, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you for real in May.
Okay, thanks very much, Karen. Looking forward to it as well.